Here we have to solve this equation where we have 3x is equal to 12. Now the concept of solving equations is that whatever we do to one side of the equal sign, we must do it to the other side of the equal sign. So if we want to solve for x, it means we want x by itself on one side of the equal sign. Now when I look at this 3x, I know if I divide 3x by 3, the 3's will cancel out each other and remain with x. So whatever you do to the left hand side of the equal sign, you must do the same thing to the right hand side of the equal sign. So I'll have 3x divided by 3 is equal to 12 divided by 3. This 3 will cancel this 3. And here we get 3 into 3, 1, and 3 into 12, 4. So what we'll end up with is that x over 1 is equal to 4 over 1. Therefore, x is equal to 4. In this question, we have to solve the inequation. We have 3x is less than 12. So basically, we're going to do the same thing. What we do to one side of the inequality sign, we'll do to the other side of the inequality sign. And our objectives remain the same. We want to get rid of this 3, so we'll divide the left-hand side of the inequality sign by 3. Therefore, we must do the same thing to the right-hand side of the inequality sign. So I'll have 3x divided by 3 is less than 12 divided by 3. And likewise, the 3's will cancel out each other. I'll say 3 into 3, 1, and 3 into 12, 4. So my answer will be x is less than 4. So now we're going to represent this answer on a number line. So we have x, this is the small side, so this will be x less than 4. So going to the right of the number line is more than, and going to the left would be less than. So here I have a circle that's unshaded, and it's over the 4, because we have x is less than 4. So the circle is over the 4, and the arrow is going to the left, because the left would mean less than. So here we have to solve this inequality, where we have 3x is less than or equal to 12. So this less than sign with the dash means less than or equal to. So again, we're going to do the same thing. Whatever you do to one side of the inequality sign, you are going to do to the other side of the inequality sign. So I'll divide the left-hand side of the inequality sign by 3, and likewise, I'll do the same thing on the right-hand side. So I'll have 3x divided by 3 is less than or equal to 12 divided by 3. And as you know, this will give us x is less than or equal to 4. So this time I have a circle, it's shaded, the circle is over the 4, and the arrow goes to the left. So because we have less than or equal to, that's the reason we shade the circle. And because it's less than, the arrow is going to the left. So notice in this question, it was just a less than sign. Therefore, the circle remained unshaded. And in this question, we have a less than or equal to sign. Therefore, the circle is shaded. Now in this question, we have to solve the inequality. We have a negative 3x is less than 12. So we're going to go about it the same way, but there's going to be a slight difference to working out this one. So in order to get rid of the negative 3 on the left-hand side of the inequality sign, I have to divide this side by negative 3, which means I must also divide the right-hand side of the inequality sign by negative 3. So I'll have negative 3x divided by negative 3 is less than 12 divided by negative 3. So again, the negative 3's will cancel out each other, and I'll have negative 3 into negative 3, 1, negative 3 into 12, negative 4. So I'll get x is less than negative 4. But there's a problem with this answer, because this is saying that x is less than negative 4. Less than negative 4 would mean going to the left. So that would be negative 4 going left, which would be negative 5, negative 6, and negative 7. Now if I substitute negative 5 into this inequation where x is, we'll have negative 3 multiplied by negative 5 is less than 12. Negative 3 by negative 5 is positive 15, and the sign will be less than 12. And obviously this is wrong, because 15 is more than 12. So therefore, when we are dividing both sides of an inequation by a negative number, we need to switch around the sign. So the sign has to switch from less than to more than. So your answer will be x is more than negative 4. Now let's see, more than negative 4 would be going to the right, which would be from negative 3, negative 2 go that way. So let's make a substitution and put in negative 3 where x is, seeing that x is more than negative 4, which is going this way. So we have negative 3, and where x is, we put the negative 3, and we have less than 12. And negative 3 multiplied by negative 3 will be 9, positive 9. And that is less than 12, so that's correct. So my answers are going this way to the right. That would be the right thing to do. So I'll have an unshaded circle because this is just a more than sign. And more than means to go to the right. So that's why my arrow is pointing to the right. And my circle is over negative 4 because we have x is more than negative 4. So we have this equation where we have x take away 4 is equal to 2. We want to solve for x. So in order to get x by itself, we must get rid of this negative 4. And in order to do that, negative 4 plus 4 will give you 0. So whatever we do to the left-hand side of the equal sign, we must do the same thing to the right-hand side. So I'll have x take away 4 plus 4 is equal to 2, and I must do the same thing on the right-hand side and add 4. So this negative 4 plus 4 would give you 0, so therefore these are out. So I'll simply have x is equal to 2 plus 4, which is 6. So I have to solve this inequation where we have x take away 4 is greater than or equal to 2. So if I want to get x by itself, I'll need to get rid of this negative 4 on the left-hand side of the inequality sign. Therefore, I need to add 4 to the left-hand side. Therefore, I must do the same thing to the right-hand side. So I'll have x take away 4 plus 4 is greater than or equal to 2 plus 4. So again, this negative 4 plus 4 will give you 0. So those will be out. And remain with x is greater than or equal to 2 plus 4, which is 6. So over 6, I'll have a shaded circle because we have more than or equal to 6. And since it's more than or equal to 6, my arrow will be going to the right. So here we have to solve this inequality where we have x plus 4 is less than 2. So to get x by itself, I'll need to subtract 4 from the left-hand side, and I must do the same thing to the right-hand side. So I'll have x plus 4 take away 4 is less than 2 take away 4. So this 4 take away 4 will give you 0. Therefore, these two are out. So I'll have x is less than 2 take away 4 is negative 2. So since we have x is less than negative 2, we'll draw a circle above negative 2, and we'll leave the circle unshaded because it's just less than 2. If it was less than or equal to 2, we'd have shaded the circle. Now less than means going to the left, so our arrow will be going towards the left. So here we have to solve this equation. We have 2x plus 5 is equal to 9. So the first thing we could do is subtract 5 on both sides to get rid of this 5 here. So this 5 take away 5 will give you 0. So these two are out. So you'll have 2x is equal to 9 take away 5, which is 4. Next, to get rid of the 2, we'll divide both sides by 2. So we'll have 2x divided by 2 is equal to 4 divided by 2. And these 2's will cancel out each other. And then we'll have 2 into 2, 1, and 2 into 4, 2. So we'll have x is equal to 2. So here we're going to solve the inequality. 2x plus 5 is less than or equal to 9. So you're going to do the same thing as we did here. The only difference would be the inequality sign. So we have 2x plus 5, and we'll subtract 5. And then we have 9 subtract 5. 5 take away 5 will give you 0. So remember 2x is less than or equal to 9 take away 5, which is 4. Then I'll divide both sides by 2. So I'll have these 2's cancel off each other. And I'll have 2 into 2, 1, and 2 into 4, 2. So I'll end up with x is less than or equal to 2. So I'll draw my circle over 2 and shade it because it's less than or equal to 2. And less than is going to the left. So I'll draw my arrow going towards the left. In this question, we have negative 2x plus 5 is less than 9. So if you want to get x by itself, first we'll have to get rid of this 5 by subtracting 5 on both sides of the inequality sign. So I'll have negative 2x plus 5, then I'll take away 5. It's less than 9, take away 5. So 5 take away 5 will give you 0, so these two are out. So I'll have negative 2x is less than 9 take away 5, which is 4. Now, in order to get rid of this negative 2 here, I'll have to divide by negative 2. So when I'm dividing both sides of the inequality sign by a negative number, the inequality sign would switch around. So I'll have negative 2x divided by negative 2, and my inequality sign will switch around. I'll have 4 divided by negative 2. So negative 2 and negative 2 will cancel out each other, and I'll have negative 2 into negative 2, 1, and negative 2 into 4 will give you negative 2. So my answer will be x is more than negative 2. So since I have x is more than negative 2, I'll draw my circle above negative 2, and the circle is unshaded because it's just x is more than negative 2. And more than means going towards the right. So I'll draw my arrow going towards the right. So here I have to solve this equation where we have x divided by 4 is equal to 2. So if I want to get x by itself on this side of the equal sign, I'll need to get rid of this 4. So in order to get rid of this 4, I'll multiply the left-hand side by 4. And whatever I do to the left-hand side of the equal sign, I must also do to the right-hand side. So I'll have x over 4 multiplied by 4 over 1 is equal to 2 multiplied by 4. So 4 over 1 is the same as 4. So I'm multiplying the left-hand side of the equal sign by 4. And I'm also doing that to the right-hand side. I'm multiplying the right-hand side by 4 also. So this 4 will cancel with this 4, and I'll remain with x. So I'll have x is equal to 2 times 4, which is 8. So we have to solve the inequality. X over 4 is greater than or equal to 2. So again, we do the same thing. We want to get rid of this 4, so that we can have x by itself on the left-hand side of the inequality sign. So I must multiply this left-hand side by 4, which means I must also do the same thing to the right-hand side of the inequality sign and multiply it by 4 as well. So I'll have x over 4 multiplied by 4 over 1, which is greater than or equal to 2 multiplied by 4. So again, these 4s will cancel out each other. So all will remain on the left-hand side is x. So I'll have x is greater than or equal to 2 times 4, which is 8. So I'll draw my circle above 8 and shade it because we have x is greater than or equal to 8. And my arrow will go towards the right because we have x is more than or equal to 8, and more than is going towards the right. Now in this question, I have to solve the inequality. Negative x over 4 is greater than or equal to 2. Now we want positive x by itself on the left-hand side of the inequality sign. Therefore, in order to get rid of this negative sign, we must either multiply or divide by a negative number. Now, seeing that we want to get rid of this 4 down here, we have to multiply by 4. So we'll multiply the left-hand side by negative 4 so that we'll get positive x alone on the left-hand side. So we'll have negative x over 4 multiplied by negative 4 over 1. And because we're going to be multiplying both sides of the inequality sign by a negative number, the inequality sign would switch around. So if you are multiplying or dividing both sides of the inequality sign by a negative number, the inequality sign switches around. So the sign will switch to less than or equal to. And I'll have 2 multiplied by negative 4. So I'll be multiplying negative by negative, so my answer would be positive, and these 4s will cancel out each other. So what I'll remain with here is just positive x. So I'll have x is less than or equal to, and 2 multiplied by negative 4 is negative 8. So I'll draw a shaded circle above negative 8. And since we have x is less than or equal to negative 8, my arrow will be going towards the left. So here I have to solve this inequality where I have 2x divided by 3 is greater than or equal to 4 divided by 5. So in order to get this x by itself, I have to get rid of this 2 and this 3. So if I multiply by 3, I'll get rid of this 3. And if I divide by 2, I'll get rid of this 2. So I'll have 2x over 3 multiplied by, and I'll have 3 as the numerator and 2 as the denominator. So that this 3 will cancel with this 3, and this 2 will cancel with this 2. Therefore, I'll get x by itself. And whatever I do to the left-hand side of the inequality sign, I must do the same thing to the right-hand side of the inequality sign. So I'll be multiplying the right-hand side by 3 over 2. So as we said, this 3 will cancel this 3, and this 2 will cancel this 2. So all remain here is simply x. So I'll have x is greater than or equal to, and on the right-hand side, nothing will cancel. So I'll multiply the 4 by 3 and the 5 by 2. So 4 by 3 is 12, So I have 12 divided by, and 5 by 2 is 10. So 12 over 10 can be broken down. So I'll have x is greater than or equal to 2 into 12 is 6, and 2 into 10 is 5. So I'll have x is greater than or equal to 5 into 6 is 1, remainder 1 over 5. So here I have my number line, and I'll have to estimate where 1 and 1/5 will be. So I know it's more than 1, so I just estimate where the 1/5 will be. So I'll draw my circle about here, meaning that here will represent my 1 and 1/5, and I'll shade my circle and draw my arrow going towards the right.